Hi there, my name is Suze, and I work with women to help them find total emotional fulfillment and satisfaction in their lives. It's Saturday. Happy Saturday. As I'm recording this video, it is a rainy day, but I love the rain. Does anyone else love the rain? I don't know. Maybe I'm weird. Drop in the comments below. Let me know how you feel about the rain. There's something about rain to me that feels romantic and just cuddly, right? Like I want to just cuddle in my blankets and like get in my bed with my cat. There's just something really nice about the rain. I love it personally. So it's Saturday. Saturday is astrological forecast day. And I'm going to be kind of reiterating something and then adding to it for astrology, current astrology. We have a lot going on. This Leo season this year, 2023, is heavy. It is heavy and it is intense with a lot going on, the energies of astrology. And so there's 3 different retrogrades I want to talk about today. It's like as if one retrograde isn't dramatic enough, we have 3 retrogrades, right? One of them hasn't happened yet, so I'm giving you a forewarning that it's coming so you can prepare and really go through it the most empowered that you can possibly be. I believe I mentioned this a couple Saturdays ago. We are currently in a Venus retrograde, right? Venus, I think generally a lot of us know already. Venus is that feminine energy that that book, women are from Venus, men are from Mars. It's all that energy too, that Venus feminine energy. It can be a very nurturing energy, a very grounding energy, but it's that feminine love energy, right? So if Venus is in retrograde, the danger, I didn't want to say that word, but I am going to say it. The danger with Venus retrograde is that there is potential for past relationships or past love dynamics, situations, whatever you want to call it. Things in your past that you have left behind, they may come back up into the present moment, okay? So the thing with the Venus retrograde and potential of past exes, past situations, past love connections or whatever, the danger with them is clearly maybe you're going to be tempted, but also there's a really big pocket of opportunity here for celebration of yourself and of your journey and for really getting even more clear and reassessing a few things, because that's really the energy of any retrograde is going inward, introspection, reevaluating, making sure your things are in alignment, that you're still on track with where you're going, right? And that is the beauty of retrogrades. So with the Venus retrograde specifically being around love and potentially past relationships, past situationships, whatever you've been involved in love, if they're coming forward, there might be a temptation to jump back into something, right? Maybe it may trigger some nostalgia and you may remember happier days and you may want to try again, right? Or maybe there's a sense of sadness around something not working out. And once upon a time, you really had high hopes that this thing would be the thing and that it would play out or work out in a particular way, long-term relational love success. And there was a hope. And so maybe having someone come back around, you may question yourself and say, oh, is this my second chance? Is this really meant to be? Can this really bloom into this beautiful vision that I had once upon a time back there? So it can get confusing, right? And you may get a little bit shaky and wobbly about what to do here. So the opportunity is to, again, pull the attention back to you. It's always about coming back to you. Celebrate. Maybe look back and remember how much you've grown and you've changed and you've expanded since the time of that previous relationship or love dynamic, whatever it was. Where were you then? Where are you now? And take a moment to really celebrate yourself, validate yourself, reassure yourself that, wow, I'm doing really well. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. This is so powerful. Look at what I've accomplished and changed in myself, in my reality since this past time. Excuse me. Celebrate that and take a moment to really recognize yourself for that. I don't think we do that enough of recognizing how far we've come because we're so focused on where we're going and we forget all that we've accomplished. So having a past situation come back in is an opportunity to celebrate your growth, first of all. And then second of all, evaluate the situation. Just because once upon a time I thought that this thing over here was my happiness, was my emotional fulfillment, now that I know what I know, and now that I see what I see, and now that I have grown this bit here to where I currently am, does this thing still align with me in my higher state of being, in my growth, what I've accomplished with myself? Does it still align with me? Or have I really shifted? Because here's the thing, when we grow and we expand, our value systems shift and our belief systems shift. And so if there's not an alignment between this other person and you in your value systems or in your belief systems, it's not going to work. Your value systems, particularly that bit, the value systems really have to align. Otherwise, you're just going to end up in this karmic loop cycle of dysfunction, conflict, and just not working out. So do look at the other person. Is the energy that they're coming towards me with, has their energy grown and elevated and expanded to meet me where I am now? Do they truly see my value and what I bring to the table and what is important to me? And are they able to meet me at that higher level table? These are the questions to be asking. Really take your time. Retrograde energy is more of a slow energy, so it will give you more space and grace. Sorry, I don't know if you guys can hear that. My cat is being funny over there. Willow's doing her morning thing. Being in the retrograde does allow you to slow down and really assess and work through things and feel into things, feel the energies, feel the alignment. And then the question that I always love to ask to myself, does this really fulfill me in the highest level sense? Is this just an instant gratification, quick hit of validation or reassurance or security or safety or feeling wanted? Or does this really emotionally fulfill me in this magical manifestation path that I'm on from my heart space and honoring my heart's desires? Your mind and your heart in these kinds of situations of past loves coming in, your mind and your heart have two very different agendas. What have you learned that your heart really needs and wants in a relationship? Not what your head thinks you don't need or thinks that you're asking for too much or thinks that your needs are too needy or too much. No. What have you learned that your heart actually needs and wants for your heart to feel happy and fulfilled and satisfied? Does this align with that? Yes or no? The other two retrograde energies, really quickly, that was the big one. The other two retrograde energies, we have Chiron in retrograde, and then we're shortly coming into a Mercury retrograde. So I'm kind of ahead of the game here, but we're going to be stepping into the pre-shadow for the Mercury retrograde pretty soon here. So I wanted to give everyone a heads up on this, right? So not only do we have all this potential confusion and, I say expect the unexpected with Venus retrograde, right? So you have this unexpected potential thing coming in that may cause some confusion and craziness in your head and in your life with past love situations, but you also have Mercury retrograde quickly approaching, which is a potential, the biggest thing with Mercury retrograde is a potential for miscommunication or communication not going well or missing details in communication, which could lead to errors in communication or misunderstanding in communication. So, and clearly we all know communication is super important when talking about love, relationships, situations, and connections, right? So move slowly and pay attention to the details in whatever you communicate and whatever communication is coming towards you with the Mercury. Last but definitely not least is Chiron. Chiron is a seriously intense energy. Chiron is the wounded healer. Chiron is the energy that holds all of those childhood wounds. Yippee. Childhood wounds, which clearly a lot of my speak on this channel is about emotional neglect in childhood and how we develop all this self-sabotaging behavior, develop all these warped value systems and limiting beliefs that completely deny us access to our confidence and our highest power. And Chiron is all about that. All those childhood wounds that have made us who we are as adults and that can completely either make or break us in our lives as adults. So Chiron in retrograde, combined with Venus in retrograde, combined with Mercury in retrograde, could potentially be massive disaster for anything having to do with love and relationships on any level. So watch yourself carefully. Where do you have a tendency to want to slip back in former versions of yourself that are not the current higher you? Where do you maybe have a temptation to slip back into self-sabotaging behaviors or karmic loops that you've been participating in the past and you're currently really trying to stay on the straight and narrow of working your way out of, whatever it may be? I talk a lot on this channel and I will be getting even more into this, but in the past week especially, I really started expanding into this, and this is very Chiron, about the childhood wounds we have, particularly as women, as feminine energies, and how it manifests in two forms of emotional eating and sexual dysfunction. And I'm really going down that path. I have a lot to say. So this is going to be a conversation that I will be expanding out into for probably an extended period of time, because clearly there's so much shame. I mean, I can already feel it just saying it out loud. Emotional eating and sexual dysfunction, all of that. So being aware currently what we're talking about today. What are patterns in your past, maybe around emotional eating or sexual dysfunction? What patterns in self-sabotaging behaviors or instant gratification or karmic loops you found yourself in around those two things in the past, and you're really making an effort to not participate anymore? Don't fall into the trap of going backwards here. Keep moving forward. So maybe you need to slow down, move slowly. Don't do anything impulsively. Watch the anxiety and how it's going to try to rush you into some impulsive, reactionary thing to get you out of the emotional distress that comes along with high emotion, high anxiety, and nervousness in the body. Slow down, move slowly, be conscious. Be very grounded and concise before you engage your energy with any kind of situation outside of yourself, and communicate very clearly. Look for details in communication and go slow. I can't say it enough. Go slow and be very conscious. I hope this video helped. Drop in the comments below what you appreciated the most. If you found value here, please do like and subscribe to help support my channel and get this message of empowerment out to more people. Have a beautiful day, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.